What's up guys, it's Nate Doggy52 and I'm back again with my first ever Foamposite Pro video. If you haven't checked out my Foamposite 1 video, then be sure to click on my channel link, which is down below, and check out that first. Without further ado, it's in this new style white Nike sportswear box. It's got that white, all white box with that patent Nike on the top, on the lid. It's also got it on the side, both sides. This is an outlet pickup, so again I'll let you see the styling colour code and all the pricing and sizing information, and then that is the price right there. Okay guys, so what we have here is the Air Foamposite Pro Premium. Official colourway is Vivid Blue, Black, Light Crimson. Style code is 616750. Colour code is 400. These are, as always, in my usual US 13, UK 12 size, and these were an outlet pickup, so again I'll let you guys see the price that I paid on there. So again, this was a real steal for myself. Retail price on these is £180. Final price was £50 that I paid, so again a real snap on these, really cheap. Was able to save well over half on these. Give you guys a quick look at them. So this is the Air Foamposite Pro Premium. And these have been nicknamed the Spider-Mans. This is my receipt from the factory store that I picked them up from. Again, Foamposites don't tend to do super well over here in the UK, and it's something that's a very niche market. But I'll give you guys a quick spin around the shoe and then we'll talk a little bit about it. So this particular colourway is nicknamed the Spider-Man colourway for obvious reasons. Anyone who kind of follows the comic books or seen the movies, you'll understand the colouring on here. The first thing that kind of brought these shoes to my attention was Terence Ross wore these in the 2014 NBA Dunk Contest as part of All-Star Weekend. He wore these with mismatched socks, so on his left he had blue, I believe it was, and his right he had red. So to take you a little bit through the Foamposite itself, originally it was thought to be an impossible shoe to make. It was this idea that Nike had, that you would essentially pour a liquid into a mould, allow that to set, and then it would create this seamless upper. That was very robust. It was totally new at the time, because right around this time when this launched, the original Foamposite 1 was 97, this guy launched 98. It was thought to be totally impossible. All the materials they were using then was leather and rubber. Again, this material was totally different. It was a polyurethane that originally started off as a liquid. It was heated up to around between 130, 120, 175 degrees, and then it was poured into a mould. After reaching out to numerous companies, Nike finally found a company who would do it. Surprisingly, it was actually the car manufacturer Daewoo, and they were able to make a mould that would make this sneaker happen. Although the original mould was actually destroyed, because I think Nike thought that the sneaker would never make a comeback, it would just be something that would be done and then it would be put in the archives. So because it was such a revolutionary sneaker, it was believed, as legend has it, was between $500,000 and $750,000 that was spent on the moulds just to make this shoe. So when you start to comprehend that, you can really then understand why it was such a high price point, at $180 and $170 on these guys. Again, very expensive sneakers, but very futuristic looking. Still to this day, even though these are approaching 20 years old, these still look pretty futuristic if you ask me, and these are still head turners to anyone who has them, especially in the UK, because it's just a sneaker you just do not see regularly. So it was actually a real kind of a problem, this sneaker. The glue that they had to use had to be 5 times stronger than the previous glues to try and hold this sneaker together, to hold the midsole outsole to the actual upper. Again, so there was a lot of problems in this. The actual conceptual idea behind the upper was a beetle, like a little bug, and it wasn't actually designed for Penny Hardaway. It was actually designed for Scottie Pippen, but what happened was, if legends to be believed, Eric Ava, who is a Nike footwear designer, he has been designing the Nike Kobe line, and he also consulted on the Huaraches. He did the Foamposite as well. He's done some really amazing projects with Nike. And usually they're totally revolutionary as well. None more so than the Kobe 9. Again, that Flyknit in basketball was just insane. But basically he had a meeting with Penny Hardaway to discuss future shoes, and the shoes were on the table. and Penny Hardaway peeked into his bag of samples and he saw a sample version of the Foamposite, and he actually said, "Oh, you know, what's that? Can I see that?" It's like, "Oh, that's not for you." And then Penny Hardaway was insisting that this shoe had to be for him. So that's how legend has it that Penny Hardaway ended up with the Foamposite. Again, this was a super complex shoe to make, hence its very high price tag. Very limited as well, especially over here in Europe when it originally launched. I've seen an ad and it was something like 150 pairs in the whole of Sweden, so not all that many at all. The sneaker, interestingly enough, wasn't actually debuted by Penny Hardaway. It was actually debuted by Mike Bibby while he was at the University of Arizona. It was debuted on March 23rd, 1997 in a Final Four game at the University of Arizona. The entire team were offered the royal blue colourway of the Foamposite 1, but it was actually only Mike Bibby who opted to take them up on the offer and to wear them. Penny Hardaway would then debut the shoes sometime later, a few days later for the Orlando Magic. Interestingly enough, in these grooves almost, Penny Hardaway actually coloured them in with a Sharpie because he was getting into a little bit of trouble from the NBA of strict uniform policies, as I've mentioned before in my Jordan 1 videos, with the colours not adhering to the uniforms. So basically he took a sharpener and coloured in these little segmented parts that are kind of cut out or recessed into it, and that's what's actually kind of gave birth to the Sharpie pack that's going to be launching later this year with the Penny 6. But talking about the Foamposite Pro, some differences in this sneaker to the Foamposite 1. The most obvious is the large Nike swoosh that you have on the side. Also, you have the removal of the Penny Hardaway 1 cent logo, so you no longer have the 1 cent logo on the spine, nor as the little almost jewel on the tongue, and it's not on the outsole. And you have this large swoosh on the outsole, which is complemented by the large swoosh right here. Again, I didn't actually see the colourway of this sneaker. This is vivid blue, black and light crimson. That's the colours that are used on here. So again, it was nicknamed the Spider-Man by the sneaker community. I think it's pretty obvious as to why. Colourway looks really cool. Perhaps one of my favourite things about the sneaker, and I didn't really notice it until I had it in hand, was actually the fade continues on the outsole. So you have this translucent outsole that fades from that really nice vivid blue into the black as well, which really makes that fade kind of continue to pop. This shoe again was a great performance shoe back in the day, and it's something that you still see on court. Like I said, Terence Ross wore it in the dunk contest, but you will still see NBA players pulling out Foamposites every so often. One particular guy, one of the Morris twins, he wears them regularly. This past season I must have seen at least 6-7 different colourways of Foamposites that he was rocking. So it's a very good shoe. Tends to work very well when you're transitioning and moving basically north and south, forward and backwards, but when you are trying to cut or make moves horizontally, they don't tend to work as well because the shoe doesn't give, it doesn't bend at all. It's a very rigid shoe. Therefore it doesn't really aid any sort of transition when you're trying to transition horizontally. It does debut this really hard carbon fibre plate in here, which is all about giving you that torsional rigidity so the shoe won't flex diagonally, meaning that your foot won't be allowed to twist this shoe, so it's very rigid. This red light crimson colourway comes up and breaks up the laces, which I think is a really nice touch, especially because the red's predominantly focused around the rear. You also have that light crimson outlining the swoosh in the vivid blue colour. You have the red, the light crimson, on the inside of the pull tab on the heel. You have those blue lines coming up on the pull tab on top of the tongue, and you have the Foamposite branding up on the back, as well as that swoosh outlined in the light crimson with the vivid blue colourway. So that pretty much wraps up this sneaker. Let me put them on feet and I'll let you guys see how they look. So here we go, guys. This is the Nike Air Foamposite 1 Premium in that vivid blue, black and light crimson colourway, aka the Spider-Mans. Giving you some views all around the shoe, as well as from the back, and let you guys see the outsole. Okay, so first up we have the reason that I do these videos is Ike Bezel. So shout outs to you, homie. You're the guy that told me a few years ago now, just go ahead and do it. Shout outs to the homie, the big brother, the sneaker fam, Jumpman Bustic over there in Detroit. Again, support everything that you do, and I'm super happy to see you going from success to success. Hess Kicks, shout outs to you and your wife. I know you're expecting a little Hess this December, so again, I love to check out your channel. Nightwing2303, again, the king of performance sneaker reviews. Kick Genius, again, these two young guys have really do fantastic performance reviews as well. And again, if you're ever unsure, check out their channel or Nightwings. ZIX, again, someone who I've tuned into a long time. Again, I always love to check out his content. That's Sugar Katie, always interesting to check out her channel, Just for Kicks 212. Always good to check him for some retro Nike basketball sneakers, always good to have a look at his channel. The Real Rare A20, Street Gear NYC, the store over there in New York. Nice Kicks, the store in Austin, Texas. Sneaker Watch TV, Scoop 208, this guy has so many sneakers constantly coming in. His postman must know him in first name terms, I'm sure. The homie down in Florida, Mr. Fulmer Simpson. Shout outs to Yo Auntie, he's got two channels, so Yo Auntie for his vlogs and Yo Auntie Kicks for his sneakers. Shout outs to the homie T Blake, Always Fresh Apparel, Jacques Slade, Bullet RC, We Are The Trend, Ski TV, kicksandfire.com, kicksandthecity.com, Suicide 1, Swag On Haters Out, Sam Colt 12, TL Rick 72, Guns and Gloves, One Veracity, Optimus P517, Sticky 213, Blue Cheese, My Kicks Fly, Eddie Wynn, the homie Jason Mark, the homie for life, the brother Sarah DC from out there in Missouri, and last of all, someone who I'm really enjoying checking out his channel and his work is Rich's Kicks. That concludes my shout out list in this video, guys. If you want to keep up with me, what I'm doing day to day, then be sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter. My username is @NathanCare20. It's going to appear right here as I'm talking. I also have hashtags that I use, which is #SneakerFanWorldwide, #NDD52 for me, Nate Doggy Dog 52, and the homie as well, T Blake, on his hashtag, #TBlake. All of them are going to appear right here. Okay guys, so that pretty much so wraps up my Foamposite 1 Premium Spider-Man sneaker review. If you have enjoyed this review, then please do drop a like, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. Check out my back catalogue of videos, there is some awesome content on there. I've been Nate Doggy Dog, thanks for checking out the video, until the next, peace.